I have like my picks for best Batman, best Bruce Wayne, best Alfred, best Gordon, best
Ooh.
Joker as far as we know them, best Batman voice, and I was gonna put best suit, but I couldn't decide. And separately, I have best score, best theme, best cinematography, best directed, and then I have my rankings of the movie iterations in order. So I gave best Batman, controversial, but I gave it to Pattinson. He's been my favorite, I think. I was a close second with Bale. It really was. But I gave it to Pattinson. My best Bruce Wayne had to be between Bale and Keaton.
Keaton is a good Bruce Wayne. Yeah, yeah. Bale is good too.
I don't know. Maybe Ben Affleck and Keaton. I've never seen Bale though.
Keaton's
I've seen Christian Bale. I've seen Christian Bale. You're talking about Christian Bale, yeah.
Yeah, Keaton is a contender, honestly, in like a lot of these categories. Like, you don't forget, he's a contender. Yeah, but he still holds up. I mean, Michael Keaton's just a great actor. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, of course he's going to be a good Batman. And he played that character pretty differently than everybody that preceded him. Yeah, he did.
I rewatched that one recently because people were, like, telling me when I was, going through my list, they were like, no, Keaton. And I was like, okay, let me rewatch it and see if I've got a blind spot here. It's okay. It's the Tim Burton era of stuff is still a little too campy for me. A little bit.
Oh, it's definitely campy, but you got to understand that was all they had to reference at that time.
Yeah, I couldn't decide between Bale and Keaton. And I think another thing, a point that was being made to me, that when people are like, oh, Keaton this, Keaton, I was thinking about relative to like formative years for people, like the first Batman they would have seen when they were like a teenager. That seems to be everybody's like favorite era. So like I know people that like, they would have been younger, like, preteens around them when Keaton was doing his thing and whatever. I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. That's like the one you would have seen when you were like first starting to get into this kind of stuff. And for me, it would have been Bale, but I still think that Pattinson was my better Batman.
Mine was probably the biggest one for me was Batman the Animated Series. So if you're not going to mention that, special shout out to that, because that is like still one of the best interpretations of Batman ever, is the Batman cartoon. That they had out in the 90s. but yeah, for me, it's the Burton Batman and Adam West, because I was only 2 when Burton Batman came out. It was 89 when that came out. I was like 2 years old so like that was my first like film of him. But I also used to watch the Adam West reruns on TV because they were used to play on YTV, I think, back in the day. And,
So then I had Best Alfred, and again, I couldn't fucking pick one.
No.
Well, okay, Michael Caine, I guess, has got an advantage here for me. But I really did right? I liked Jeremy Irons.
He was good.
My best Gordon, I was a toss-up. I really liked Gary Oldman's, but Jeffrey Wright's is good too. So I know more of the Gary Oldman one just because he was in more movies, but
that's tough. I know it's tough. I don't know which way I would go. Like I said previously, Michael Caine for sure for me for Alfred, but this one is tough. Like I would have to see this film again, I think, to decide. So you don't know who you're leaning more towards in that one.
Towards Gary Oldman.
Okay,
but
I'm gonna say right for now. I'm gonna say right for now because he's like the new hotness for me on this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he really impressed me. Like I didn't think I was gonna walk away and be like, wow, that was like, not that I don't like, I think he's a great actor, but like I just didn't expect the Gordon to be such a standout in this film, right? Like it was pretty good.
Best Joker, no contest for me. It had to be Heath Ledger. Yeah. There was no fucking debate on that one. I was like, this is it.
Worst Joker, Jared Leto.
I guess when you want to compare, like, I don't know, man.
Jared Leto's a fucking freak.
I still have a hard time. I like. Don't get me wrong. I like Heath Ledger, but I still have a hard time, man, because I still like that fucking Jack Nicholson. I still like that comedian fucking style fucking Joker. I don't know, man, with that funny face and that. No, not just I'm gonna paint makeup all over my face.
Nicholson's second for me. Yeah. Nicholson's second.
It's just hard. First. Like as to Julie's point, it's hard because that's what I originally the one I watched originally.
That's
you know
what I mean. Everybody's
hard.
first exposure to it tends to be their favorite for the most
Yeah,
part.
like I mean, maybe Nico's was comic books,
Or
so
it's the
that's
one you
why
compare it to. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
likes the animated stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that you
Well,
like the characters.
the Joker in the animated series is voiced by what's his name? It's Luke Skywalker.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh wow! Hey, I didn't know. I just know
Yeah.
the
What's his
character.
freaking name? Shame on me, I'm forgetting his name.
You
know what I'm talking
Star
about.
Mark
Wars.
Hamill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mark
Star Wars.
Hamill. He
Yeah.
does a lot of voice acting, and he's the Joker in the Batman animated series. And that's
And Kevin Conroy's voice acting with Batman is really good.
It's funny because one of your categories here, that's where I would put him there, but you'll get to it. But that's where I would put him, one of these for sure. Yep.
For best Batman voice, as
There you go.
As far as the films go,
Okay.
if I was going to, include the TV stuff too, yes, I
Kevin
would have said
Conroy.
Kevin Conroy
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like Bales because it's too hammed up for me. It drives me nuts. His fucking
That's when everyone started making fun of him. Like, yeah,
it's too much. It's not realistic.
It's bad.
It's bad. Pattinson's is all right. I liked Affleck's the digitized voice. I kind of liked that because I was like, okay, this is like more believable than having to like talk in this fucking weird voice all the time. To have this digitized thing that
So yeah,
that's kind of where I went with it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm gonna throw a wild. I mean, I wasn't prepared for this, guys, and I'm just trying to play along with you. So I'm gonna throw a wild card out here. I'm gonna throw out George Clooney for mine. I'm gonna throw out him voice. I thought I like George Clooney's voice.
I don't even remember it, to be honest with you. I thought it was just his regular
Wild
voice.
card.
Yeah, wild card.
Yeah.
Hey, nice.
Best suit, I really couldn't pick anything, so I just even took it off my list.
Bat nipples for sure. For Batman Forever.
What the fuck?
So that's Val. That's Val. Val had the bat nipples.
Okay, all right. That's I couldn't decide.
I could picture him. I could see him having the nipples because it's just Val Kilmer. I could see that. Bro. I can't see the other ones having the nipples. Just him. I don't know why. For some reason.
I should have had a Catwoman category because there's enough iterations of Catwoman that we could at least have a definitive one. But I didn't really focus on it.
I would say Pfeiffer, but this one. What's her name? Zoe Kravitz.
Pfeiffer's the one that has the whip that takes out all the candles, right?
So Pfeiffer has the best costume out of all Catwoman. She has the one with the stitches in the second Batman.
Okay. Yep.
That's my favorite Catwoman in anything, like out of the comics, like anything. That's my favorite costume. And that is her in her prime when she played that character.
Oh yeah,
sure.
man. She was fucking hot.
She looked great. Yeah. So like for me,
I was a teenager.
Yeah, for me, it's always, but again, it's mostly about the costume for me in that one. But like that's,
yeah, I bet.
But I would, Zoe Kravitz again. If I watch it again, she's very close for me.
She's good.
She was very good. She was.
So then next, I've got more of the filmmaker categories because they were things that stuck out for me. Best score, I had to separate from best theme because I had too much to decide. Thematically, like the one that you fucking remember
is Hans Zimmer,
the Batman theme, like that you can think of when you're
Danny Elfman.
Somebody goes sing the Batman theme. They always say one, and I had to separate that from score because score is more about how their storytelling is with the music and stuff. So for best score, I had it between Hans Zimmer and between the new guy, Michael Giacchino, because I really like the score. I think it was really hard for me to pick because. It was hard to decide because when you think about it, there's like 15 different iterations of the Batman scores and themes, and like most of them, when you hear them, you're like fucking Batman. Like there's a lot of them that are memorable, right?
Animation.
But Hans Zimmer, I think, is got to be, he's written for multiple franchises too. That's the other thing.
I probably go with Zimmer or Danny Elfman, but probably Hans Zimmer probably.
So these three
Danny
that you guys
Elfman
are
was
saying.
the Tim Burton one, I think, right?
Okay, see that's
Hans Zimmer did the Nolan films.
But, yes, I know that. Yeah, no, but I mean Danny Elfman was the Burton ones, though.
He
right?
was the Burton ones.
Yeah, so it'd be between those two for me.
Yeah.
This one was good though. I know you really dug this new films.
I think it's getting awards next year. I think. But so the best score between Hans Zimmer and the new guy, that's where I fell. The best theme. I had to give to Danny Elfman. That's like the classic one that everybody thinks of when they're
Oh
they're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of Batman, like the song from Batman. That's the thing that everybody can hum and tell and sing to you when they're thinking of it.
I'll change my answer to then to that. I'll put Elfman here. I'll put Zimmer for the other one. Then,
Yeah.
if that's the case. Yeah.
Best cinematography, just like storytelling wise, had to be between this new one or The Dark
Nolan.
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, again, I would have to see this again, but Christopher Nolan is pretty good cinematography. Like he like his films are always really well shot.
They're really
so I would
well
probably,
done.
I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, so I would say Nolan right now, just because I
Mhm.
haven't seen this. Like I've seen 3 films of Nolan's though with Batman. You know what I mean? Like so, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to compare.
We got more to go on.
Yeah.
So then for like the best director, it had to come down to Nolan or Reeves. And I couldn't pick because they're both they're really different, but I have to give like credit to both of them. So I couldn't decide. Because I really like the new one, but I've got more of Christopher Nolan's stuff to judge by. So
I'd go Nolan. Yeah.
it's leaning more
Hard
that
to
way for
judge
me
off
just
of
because we
one
have
film.
more.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There has
So
to be a new one.
The ranking of the movies, and I didn't like separate between all the trilogy shit. It was just like the iterations of it. I gave Pattinson the number 1 spot. Controversial pick, but I liked it the most, I think, just because they took it in a completely different direction, but they didn't pander to the audience about the storytelling.
Yeah.
Because we all know the fucking origin story. It's been told 20 times.
Yes.
We don't need to spend the first hour on how did Batman become a thing. We already fucking know. So they didn't pander to us. It wasn't spoon fed, but it also was like it was easy to follow. It was very well edited. So I really like the way it's done. I gave that the top spot. Dark Knight trilogy, all the iterations of Bale, whatever. That's in my second spot. Batman Returns with Keaton, I gave the 3rd place. Zack Snyder to Affleck, I gave in the 4th. Kilmer, I didn't like. He gets the next spot. And then Clooney, and then Adam West had a movie in the 60s. Just because it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it's
Yeah.
campy, but it's not like top
Yeah.
of my list, great movie. It's still funny. It's like, but I gave him the bottom spot because as far as being well done and stuff, it's not there.
I pretty much agree with everything on your ranking, except for the fact that you're putting Pattinson first right now. I think I would have to still put.
It would swap.
Yeah, I have to put that trilogy first right now, but give it another film. But I get either that or I have to watch this movie again because I do want to watch it a second time. But I would say give it another film like by this director, and it might take because you got to remember, like for me at least with the Nolan, the last one shit the bed. Like that movie. Like that was the worst out of the whole trilogy. The first one, Batman Begins, very good, very strong. The second one, the best film of the whole trilogy, of course. And then the third one, it fell off a cliff. Like it